Okay, get excited because we're going to keep going with geometry in chapter 9. So, we did some geometry formulas last chapter to kind of get us ready for these more intense geometric formulas in chapter 9. So, the first formula that we are going to talk about is surface area of prisms. Okay, and specifically, we're going to talk about prisms that have a rectangular base, a triangular base, and then a trapezoidal base. Very exciting. So let's get started. Hold on, I'm getting all my colors ready to go. Here we go. Okay, so pH plus 2b. What pH plus 2b stands for is, I should have left myself some more space. Perimeter of the base times the height of the prism plus 2 times the area of the base. Okay, so perimeter of the base times the height of the prism plus 2 times the area of the base. So what is the base? Okay, that's what we need to figure out first. Base are the two parallel faces. The two parallel faces. Let's write a note about that. Bases are the two parallel faces. That's an important note. So what I like to do when I find the surface area of prisms is I like to identify what is the base. So on this one, I'm going to go ahead and shade it in. This is the base of my rectangular prism, okay, because it is parallel to this top section up here. Those are two parallel faces. Technically, on a rectangular prism, any pair could be your bases because they're all parallel to the side opposite of each other, but I'm just going to use this one for now. So the first thing that we need to do is we are going to identify what is the perimeter. What is the value of P, right? In our formula, it's pH plus 2b. So P stands for the perimeter of the base. So if I was going to add up, that was not good, the sides of the base, right? Perimeter is the distance around something. That would be 6 plus 12 plus 6 plus 12. Okay, use your calculator if you need to. That's 36. Okay, that's P. Now let's identify what H is. H is the height of the prism. And the height of the prism is just like when we did height with trapezoids. It's what's connecting the two bases. We can even make a note of that up here. Height is connecting the two bases. Okay, so the height of this prism, what is connecting those two parallel bases? 8. Okay, and now what we need to know is the big letter B, right, which stands for area of the base. This is why we reviewed those basic geometry formulas last chapter. The area of this base, it's a parallelogram. That is 6 by 12, which would be 72. So I need P, H, and B. I have those. So perimeter is 36 times the height is 8 plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 72. So I found the 3 pieces, and now I'm going to plug them in. So 36 times 8 plus 2 times 72 is 432 centimeters squared. And that's my answer. So perimeter times the height plus 2 times the area of the base. So let's look at our triangular prism. Which two sides are the bases? They have to be parallel. The only two sides that aren't going to hit each other, right, if they went on forever and ever, are these two. These are my parallel bases. So the first thing we need to do is find, well, what's the perimeter of the base? So if I were to go around and measure the outsides, right, of this triangle, it would have a side of 8. And then let's look up here. This side is 12 and 15. 8 plus 12 plus 15 is 35. The height is what's connecting those two bases. What length is connecting those two bases? 30. And now we need to find big B, right? The area of that base. This is a triangle, which is base times height divided by 2. 8 times 12 divided by 2, so 48. Okay, so in this formula, when I found the area of a triangle and I'm saying base, it's the base of the triangle. I'm not talking about the base of the figure. Does that make sense? Okay, so now I can plug it in to P H plus 2B. So the perimeter I found was 35 times the height is 30 plus 2 times the area of the base, which is 48. So 35 times 30 plus 2 times 48 gave me 1,146 centimeters squared. Whoops. Okay, and then the last one. So the only two parallel sides are going to be this guy, and then if I were to color it in, it would kind of just be like a big old blob. So, and that guy back there. Okay, so those are my bases. So the first thing I have to do is find the perimeter of the base. It's the exact same thing, right? P H plus 2B. So the perimeter of this trapezoid is 10 plus 12 plus 2 plus 14. So 22, 24, 38, 10, 20, 30, 34, yep. And then the height is what's connecting those two bases. So what is connecting those two bases? 5, right? This is a base, this is a base. 5 is what's connecting them. And now I need to find the area of this base. Well, it's a trapezoid. And the formula for a trapezoid is the bases, right, the sum of the bases times the height divided by 2. So on this trapezoid, the bases together are 12. The height of my trapezoid is actually 12, and then divided by 2. So the sum of the bases times the height divided by 2. 12 times 12 is 144, divided by 2 is 72. So when I plug this in, it's perimeter times height plus 2 times the area of the base. So 38 times 5 plus 2 times 72, 334 feet squared.